gardens and rollerblade in the patio. It was
Really?
the funnest thing, yeah.
It must have been incredibly good on that hard floor, just whizzing around.
Yeah.
And the gardens, which are obviously lovely at this time of year, are they an important part of the South? Do people come for the gardens?
They do, because these gardens kind of portray how in the 15th, 16th century, how Sevilla was built. Since we had all this Muslim inheritance from Oriental architecture, in which the gardens look inwards. So it's kind of, when you're outside from this house, you don't know there's two big gardens. You don't know what to expect when you come in.
The second courtyard garden is the larger of the two. It consists of formal beds made into parterres and filled with clipped topiary.
What I see is an Italian Renaissance garden. It's not at all Spanish in any detail, really. And that's because it was designed by an Italian. The then owner of the house was made Viceroy of the Kingdom of Naples, which was part of the great 16th century Spanish Empire. And he imbued the culture of the Renaissance, which of course was at its peak then in the 1560s and 1570s. And he hired a Neapolitan architect to come over and transform what was then an orchard. And he created this garden and built the buildings around it, and that's how it remains today. And in fact, the family still has very strong links with Italy.
Seville is a very green city. Gardens that were once part of private palaces are now public squares and parks. These provide surprisingly verdant spaces for the people of Seville to enjoy, as well as much-needed shade. This is the very lush Parque de Maria Luisa in the middle of the city.
One of the interesting facts about this park is that it was made by the same man, Forestier, who made the small garden in Ronda belonging to the Casa del Rey Moro. And he made them at the same time in 1911. So on the one hand, he was fashioning that rather exquisite sort of paradise garden, and at the same time, this enormous, great, lush park.
The second privately owned garden I want to visit whilst I'm here in Seville is Palacio de las Dueñas. The original architecture was identical to the Casa de Palatos, and that's because the palaces were built for two brothers, and their mother wanted to avoid any sibling rivalry. But while the buildings may have been the same, the gardens have evolved through time and different owners to become quite different.